Bingus. Yeah, for right now, for the most part, it seems like I'm getting the occasional hiccup, but we seem stable enough.
Hey.
Excellent.
Just keep your CPU cooled.
Yes. How you doing, bud? How you doing? Yeah,
Slap.
you're fine.
Slap that sucker in front of the AC and crank it. I'm sure that'll have only positive consequences.
That can only resort to bad things. Hey!
Just put your
What?
computer in the refrigerator, forehead.
I just timed you out, motherfucker. Don't test me,
Wait,
Pokemon
what?
community game.
Maybe there was a typo?
The fuck?
It was probably a typo.
Weird. Because it didn't delete. Yeah.
It must have been a typo. That's fine.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Yes, let us start. But we get some test rolls.
I love test rolls.
Yeah, you go.
Thanks, I'm not hungry.
Let's go!
Natural 20.
Oh shit!
No!
Is that
You
inspiration?
burned your good luck!
Is that inspiration?
No.
Bingus.
But I give you
Yee.
inspiration.
11.
Tart, this is Barovia. Nothing's fair.
Oh yeah, I was being wholly serious about my inspiration usage because I corrected you during one of the sessions. So therefore, whenever they roll severity, I need you to re-roll it for disadvantage. So much fun when they team hit each other. I can make fun of the Shad Sun people so much.
Smilers.
Alright.
Ooh.
It's like decent rolls. Yeah, obviously the one good one at the top.
I was
but
about to say, decent. Jeez.
we got a natural 20, a 17, and then one middling and one low. I'd say pretty good average.
Yeah.
But
Pretty good.
hello everyone. Welcome to Dummies and Disasters, The Curse of Strahd. I'm your host CG. Ever ready to DM with my wonderful group of adventurers? Say hello.
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 Wait,
Hello,
hello to
I'm
the
alive.
wonderful group of adventurers, or like?
Yes, they're over there, not you guys.
Okay.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, the other guys, right.
I don't know why that's so funny.
Is talk about fucking Coom, bro.
But yes, how's everyone doing today?
Very distracted.
Doing pretty good.
I am also somewhat distracted because of trying to fucking make sure my internet's good. But that's been pretty much the past like 3 days.
I hear you. Let's test rolls out of the way. Everyone's good situation established. We'll go ahead and get started.
Woo, woo, woo.
Okay, settle down there. Your enthusiasm's too high for where we're going.
Woo, woo, woo.
Come on, we have a beacon of happiness now in Barovia.
This is a 2-woo land, okay? 3 is too much.
See, Ric Flair is not allowed in Barovia.
So 3 woos aren't allowed. Poor Zack Ryder.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Woo woo woo. Get out of here.
Deep within the lands of Barovia, the mist tells a story. Hope the cleric, Vial the paladin, Gray the fighter, Dagon the sorcerer, and Shaggy the monk decided to investigate the wedding invitation Strahd sent them. Wait, am I reading this right? No, I am on the old one. were besieged in Mordenkainen's mansion, protecting Irina from a horde of mosquito-like creatures that sought to bring her to Strahd. The attackers were relentless, and as each one was slain, the unmistakable form of the abbot's patience could be seen, twisted and warped by some dark procedure. That was not the only mystery unraveled amidst the conflict. The party had been wondering how the door was broken to allow attackers entry into this demiplane, and discovered the cause to be an invisible stalker that they had accidentally let in. Despite the odds, the party was successful in repelling the invasion, where we rejoined them moments after their victory. So, as Rahadin has retreated, and you are left with several bodies amidst this now thoroughly scuffed foyer, you see at the top of the staircase, kind of creaking out, Vasilka kind of poking her head up. Is it over?
No. Gray is gonna try to wake up Irina.
You walk on over to her, and she is still asleep. How do you wake her?
Just kind of shake her, kind of like pitter patter on her cheek. Irina. Irina, wake up.
Uh, 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 okay. Oh, what? She kind of like picks up her sword and dagger. Okay, I'm up. I'm up.
It's all right. It's all right. We need to gather your things, though. We have to go. This place isn't safe anymore.
It is an understatement. Right. I didn't bring much with me, but yeah, I'll go find something. And she just kind of walks down towards her room. You wait a minute.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Basilica, I recommend you grab your things too. Nobody's staying here.
Oh. And she just kind of looks sullen. But those lamps are going to be so... Those lamps were so lovely for the plants.
I'm sorry.
And she begins to make her way to the opposite side of the wing. A few minutes go by. You see Vasilka holding up what looks like to be two different rows of like planters completely filled with decent looking vegetation. It's been well cared for, but there's no sign of any major blooming flowers except for a couple like posies. And of course, her rose, which is currently in full bloom. And then from the other side, Irina walks out carrying exactly one bottle of unopened wine. All right, I have the essentials.
Kind of turning to the party. Well, you gotta find Mordenkainen. This place isn't gonna do us much good anymore.
I still have a few of the scrolls. I can set this up for maybe 1 or 2 more days, but after that, it'll be empty.
And we'll make sure they count.
Irina nods. Vasilka kind of gathers their things. And unless there's anyone else who wants to do anything, you all step outside the mansion. Turning to the still early morning mist at the far north of the valley, you step on outside and sensing, I suppose, that there is no one left, the door behind you shimmers and vanishes. Well, now what?
Well, we're gonna find Mordenkainen and punch him.
I presume
Yeah.
you all found Elitas where he is? He's above game grade, doesn't know.
Yeah, we think he's in. Who has the map that we found?
Who does have the map?
Good
Not
question.
me.
Not
I know the three of us were war rooming, so one of us probably
Did-
has it.
Did we even take the map?
I would fucking hope so.
no. Hold
Apparently
on.
not.
No, hold on. If I remember correctly, who was it last time that was actually high enough to understand the map?
Was it me? It was me, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was you actually, Chahasa.
Choggy pulls out the map you don't know where from, like Hammer Space.
Yeah,
Uh,
just vomits the map out of his mouth.
No, he just pulls it out, like it looks like he pulls it from behind him. Like,
Like a video game.
and pokes through the dead zone. He goes, Mordenkainen's here, which is why I want to punch him.
And that's
not
where we're
looking-
heading. On the bright side, looks like we can handle a few matters of business on our way down there. Maybe talk with.
should-
Go ahead.
We should probably go as quick as possible, because if we can go here, then they won't fight. They won't be able to find Irina. At least for a little bit.
That's true. Probably wouldn't hurt to stop by the Martikovs and drop off the gem as well.
Agreed.
We could also potentially stop and speak with his name that I always fucking forget.
Oh, you mean this? He's gonna pull up. I didn't give the gem to anyone, did I? Chuggy's gonna
so,
pull out the
no.
gem as well. Is it still glowing?
It's still shining as it usually does.
Evan, he's just gonna put it away.
Casimir, that was his name.
Yes.
I got there eventually.
Yay!
And above game, I know that Hope wanted to go back to Yesterhill.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a few places we can stop on our way if we want.
Main thing for us though is definitely the Martikovs.
That's something we definitely should do if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, need to find Mordenkainen, and we've got. Oh, what's his name?
Casimir.
The elf?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Casimir is... The nice thing is that all of these places are kind of in the same area from the road you're traveling.
That's fucking super convenient. Let's go.
Oh, thank God.
So, for perspective's sake, you have to go back through Vallaki, and on the south side of Vallaki is where the Vistani camp that the elves are at is.
Mm-hmm.
And traveling towards the Martikovs, Yesterhill is south of there, and according to the map, the quote-unquote dead zone is further south from that.
So it sounds like we can do all three if we want.
Correct.
Lovely.
Which, no, I did not plan that. That just happened to work out really well.
Alright, then, yeah, I think that's our path, right, gang?
I agree.
Hit them all
Let's
on
go.
our way south?
West.
No,
West, of
south.
course.
I mean, it might be southwest.
Travel from the northern part of the lake to Vallaki is as ever, a little haunting, especially after all you've been through in the lake. But travel is safe and peaceful. You cross through the boat, which is admittedly pretty packed now that you have two more people with you. But you did take two boats last time, if I remember correctly. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a tight fit, but you can all get across. Moving on to the main road south into Valaki. Uh, you get the sense that
Shut the fuck up, Haza.
Dude, I had to. I'm sorry.
God fucking damn it.
I had to.
That's really
Fuck.
fucking clever.
You know what?
Nah.
You know what? That was great. You get an applause for that.
I'm sorry, but dude, I had to do it.
You had to do it.
Fuck
I guess I should
others.
open this image so the stream knows what the fuck we were laughing at.
Fuck
I
others.
would've-
Caption is on our way to the dead zone.
I can't to play.
I came.
you know what?
I'm proud of this
Screw
one.
it. Screw it. That's good enough. That got a laugh from me. Give yourself some
Yes.
inspiration.
That was great.
But
That's a-
you continue south into once more the town of Valaki. This time, as soon as it begins to approach, Godfrey just kind of gives you all a nod, and he takes the a circumvent route, circumradiant words, to avoid the town and what happened last time.
I mean, do we need to go through town this time?
It'd be quicker.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, just the difference between going in the potentially dangerous route, dangerous woods, or going through the settlement with walls.
Fair enough.
Real quick, does anyone have any business in Valaki while we are traveling through?
I don't suppose there's another set of plate armor for sale.
No.
Then no.
I cannot
Okay.
think of anything.
You make
But
your
I
way.
can afford anything.
Yeah. You make your way through Valaki. Nothing of particular interest happens, and it's a relatively peaceful jaunt. You catch a few guards' eyes, they simply acknowledge you and keep walking.
I'll
If
buy a thermometer or something that has mercury in it.
Okay, sure.
Did they?
It's for one of my spells.
Give me a copper.
Okay.
You can't find it in town. You find it from one man. Oh, you got it. You need a thermometer? Oh, that's my drink of choice.
My drink of choice. No, Blinks, you can't drink that. That
I mean, you
explains a
can. It's
lot.
just poisonous.
That explains a lot all of a sudden.
But you appear on the southern gate. You woke up at this morning at roughly the crack of 9. Traveling through Valaki and all the way down here, it's still quite a trip. It's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It takes several hours to get from Valaki to that deep part of the woods, and just a little bit more going through Valaki itself. You're kind of tired, but you arrive back on the Svalich road that you're used to traveling. You see, somewhat south, the noted fire of the Valaki camp, the Vistani camp south of Valaki. I assume you head that way.
See.
Okay. All right. As you begin to approach, about 5 minutes go by. I'd like everyone to roll a perception check.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. That's
Okay.
right. Our proficiency bonus went up. Pog +5.
I see nothing.
Wait, you have a proficiency bonus?
Are you serious?
Oh, now.
I can.
Uh,
I
Been a
had to
while.
mute myself because I'm pretty sure the stone grinding sound of me turning my head would peak the mic.
Damn it.
you've played D&D before, right?
Look, it's been J Frost brain
Okay.
today.
The thing is, I completely understand J Frost, considering you literally tried to nuke Sarah.
Wait,
True.
I didn't nuke Sarah.
Yes, we'll talk about it later. But you tried to nuke Sarah.
It's a very perceptive bunch. But
I have good
great.
eyes.
It's not actually eyes. As you head on out, as you kind of approach the camp, Gray, you can hear shouting. Unfortunately, not high enough to discern what is being shouted, but you hear two male voices.
Kind of hand on the sword, kind of expecting the worst and just kind of rushing forward a bit, just like, huh. Potential sound of danger.
Actually, now that we are heading to the Valak camp, over here, change the music. You approach the various wagons that make up this camp, and you see a small crowd of Vistani apparently circling around the center. The elves are also kind of in this group as everyone is watching inside.
Approaching. That immediately screams fist fight.
You hear as you kind of make your way through the crowd. Hold on. Fael,
E.
as you are making your way through the crowd, you feel a tug on your arm.
I look at my arm.
There is a small child attached to it. Very familiar Vistani child.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey, you guys. This is kind of a bad time.
For us to be here?
Well, for anyone to be here, but, actually, you know what? Never mind. You guys might be exactly what we need. And she, at this point, just kind of starts dragging you towards the center, specifically, File.
He will not resist.
You all see File being dragged off and kind of bursting through the crowd. Arabelle shouts to the front, "Hey, it's these guys. Remember? They're the whole point, the whole reason we're in this situation." And
What?
Wait.
As you enter into the center of the group, you see the large Vistani gentleman and father of Arabelle, Luvash, currently holding up by the collar a bloody and beaten Aragol, the other Vistani that you had met when you were here last.
Oh, the... Wait. That wasn't the one we
Erangel.
met at Argon Master, right?
Erangel. Is he the one that was the drunkard?
No. He was above game. You guys didn't really interact with him much, but he was very grateful for returning his niece. So, Luvash kind of holding Aragol looks. How appropriate that you are all here. Do you have something to say, Aragol? I'm not going to apologize. I did what I needed to do. Luvash kind of sighs. And he just kind of picks up his brother by the scuff, puts him back on his feet, and he, like, you know that, kind of like dad hand on shoulder, just kind of guiding him towards your group. Well met, friends. Appears you caught us in a bit of a family squabble.
What appears to be the issue?
The issue is that a certain someone here decided to betray our famous hospitality. And he happens to have done a injustice to you all.
Just kind of looking at the guy now on the ground. Kind of peeking over. Is that so? And what did he do exactly?
Luvash kind of looks down to Aragol, who looks away. Alright, if you don't want to speak. Do you remember when you came into camp a long time ago with rescuing my dear Arabelle? And you may remember that my brother was greatly appreciative of you returning our wonderful small child. And I believe he shook hands with all of you.
Yes.
He looks on over to Dagon in particular. You, I remember, especially having a terrible time. Not quite used to handshakes. Turns out that our wonderful brother, my wonderful brother, was doing a little more than shaking your hands. I believe he... What did you get from him? A fingernail. A fingernail. And, seems like such an odd thing to ask for, doesn't it?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Above game, I don't remember the fingernail bit.
That's
I
because
don't-
it wasn't brought up.
Ah.
Got it.
And now, who would possibly want such an innocuous item a part of someone's person?
I have a few ideas.
Many.
Yeah, it was Strahd.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. There! Wasn't that so hard to say? Apparently, my dear little brother had conspired with the Lord of the Land to get an item from you for, I don't know entirely what it was, but something personal, something either worn or kept, or something, well, like a lock of hair. Now, I've mentioned this before. Well, I haven't mentioned this before, but we are in a tough spot when it comes to Strahd. We see the damage that he is doing, but we are also aware of what he used to be and what we did for him, and we take up a distinctly neutral stance as a response. Honestly, the best that we can do in this situation. However, my brother here was a little concerned about. No, brother. He kind of. I can talk now. Oh, you want to talk now? Sure. Explain yourself. Before you came along. Before you all came along, I was concerned about the state of Vallaki, and every single manic villager that the former Burgermeister had stirred up. We were an easy scapegoat for him, and I could sense the resentment growing. So I went to Strahd and asked for further protection if needed. He had mentioned that there were new arrivals in this land, and he would want part of them for something. I'm not entirely sure what, but it seemed, well, trivial. So I did just that. I will not pretend to know exactly what it was for. I will not pretend to be sorry. I did what I did for my people. Yes, and our people are known for their hospitality. And you betrayed that. Just kind of coughs.
Above game, can I make like any sort of check to determine why Strahd would want like a fingernail?
Roll me an Arcana with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Well, that's
Damn it!
7.
You know what? Can I do it for the Chunky Brain Blast?
Choggy Brain Blast. It's
Joggy
time.
Sure.
Brain Blast.
Let's see the
Time.
Choggy Brain Blast.
It's time.
Joggy,
Here
joggy,
we go.
joggy, joggy. Oh, Joggy Brain Blast!
I fucking.
Well, it's at
hate it.
disadvantage, so 16.
I hate it here. No, dude, it is an 18. Oh wait, yeah, I see what you mean.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
16.
I hate it here.
Even with the 16, Choggy, you're not sure, honestly.
No, that's fair. Even with a nat 20, I don't think Chunky would know shit.
Yeah.
Chunky will look up, finger pointed like he's figured something out, and then just look straight back down in like hand on his chin, thinking.
Yeah.
He
I
does
just-
the thinker.
I just
Above
imagine
game.
Choggy doing the aha pose, and then everyone just looks at him.
Yeah, exactly. The aha pose, and then he just goes back down to thinking. Like,
Yeah.
nothing happened.
I know exactly. Please tell me Choggy does this.
I have a question above game.
Yes.
He's not quite accusing someone.
Would locate object work on a fingernail?
If
It is
it's
an
within 1,000
object.
Yeah, if it's within 1,000 feet.
Good,
I
he
know what
wanted
it
to
is
keep track
above.
of us.
I know what it is above game, but
Mm-hmm.
What were you saying, Pyle?
Maybe he wanted to keep track of us.
Maybe
That's how I find things sometimes. Not with parts of people, but
Maybe that fingernail he gave to Lady Walkta, and that's how she was able to spy on us. We know that he was checking in on her.
maybe he just has really good smell.
In any case, Luvash kind of looks back to you. Your timing is fortunate. We were about to exile Aragol for breaking our oath, but as you are the offended party, I will leave it up to you. What should be done with this one? And at this juncture, you see Fael. Arabelle is kind of holding tight onto your arm. Her gaze has not gone away from Aragol this whole time.
How do you spell that name, by the way? I'm sure I have it in here somewhere. Okay, thank you. Above game. We've been showing mercy to people who have conspired with Strahd. So I don't see why we should stop now, yeah?
I agree.
I mean, imprison him maybe, but fucking, I mean, we're proving we
Exile
want to be
seems a
the better
bit
people,
harsh.
right?
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why we should do anything wrong to him. I think we should give him mercy, but at the same time, it's also not our town.
Just ground him for a month and call it a day.
Sounds like 3 votes for spare.
Mm-hmm. Spare / imprison.
Yeah.
I'm
Probation.
more on this. I'm more on the spare / oh, it's not our town, not our problem thing.
All right. So, as you have all reached a decision, please let us return to the scene.
Gray will turn to Luvash. In the end, he was looking out for you and your people. His people. Yes, he may have wronged us, but we want to be the better people here. If you have some way you can imprison him or hold him, you can, but
I don't think that.
I believe we wish to show mercy against this gentleman.
You see, as Luvash kind of takes what you're saying, and he goes on over and picks up his brother. Well, as it is requested by the guests of the Vistani camp, Ergal, you are pardoned of this crime. And then he just gives him one last punch to the gut. And that is just for being sneaky and keeping things from us. Okay? Understood. And he just kind of leans over and in a very undignified pose. Alright, come on. Let's get you to bed and get you bandaged up. Arabelle, could you please see to our guests and make sure that they are... Well, I'm not actually sure why you're here, but I'll return momentarily. Sure thing, Dad! And he walks off to one of the wagons. He just kind of kicks the door open. Arabelle turns to you guys. Thanks, guys. I'm glad Uncle Aragol isn't going away.
Gray will sort of smile at Arabelle. You're a good kid. Stay away from any other fishermen.
Any other what?
Fishermen?
Oh. Oh, fishermen! I don't want to hang out with those guys. They all smell. Granted, I've only met the one, but he smelled really bad. It's enough for me to make a generalization.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no.
That was also happened to be the one who tried to drown her.
Yes.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I got over it. But why are you guys here?
We're here to see Casimir.
Oh yeah, Cass was really looking for you guys. I think he's in. She looks over to one of the elves. Hey, is Cass here? You know he doesn't like it when you call him that. Yeah, but is Cass here?
Yeah, is Cass here?
The elf looks over to you, Chuggy, with a death glare.
One eye blinking after another.
Casimir is here. He has been looking for you lot. I believe he is in the cave at the far south here. And he
Okay.
just kind of points to what looks like a, you didn't pay much mind to it the first time, but it was a rather large mound with several holes and entrances inside. And he just kind of like, go on and see him if you will.
Very well. Nod and begin to head that way. Above game, Fael, since this is one of your people, do you wanna take lead on this?
I will certainly try.
Alright. Arabelle just kind of walks you over. Little bit into the cave. It's musty, but you can definitely tell that someone has been living here. There's definitely a feeling of incense and like candles being burned. You walk in on a dirty but functional and nice looking rug. There's a table with a bunch of bits and bobs, a bed, etc. And you see currently lying on the bed, kind of staring away from you guys, is, I'm going to share this since it has been so long, Casimir.
Cass.
Cassie.
Cassie. I forgot this motherfucker looks like he's straight from Skyrim. Skyrim belongs to the Nords!
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Or what am I saying?
Of course you don't.
Arabelle, who walked in with you guys. Cass, you got visitors! Yes, Arabelle, thank you. Please leave me be and never say that again. Whatever you want, Cass. Just, He kind of turns around. You see kind of like this dignified elf. You've only met once, but you can see kind of a fracture in his face, that little like eye twitch of someone who's very clearly annoyed and angry, but is holding in as much as possible. Good to see you all again.
Above game, Fael, did you say you were gonna take lead on this?
Yes, but I am brain thinking.
You good?
Uh,
He was having bad
Yes.
dreams, and we're here to help him.
Yes, hello. How are the dreams lately?
Hello, Fael. Good to see you again. That is what I wanted to talk to you about, actually. Kind of
Oh,
pulls out a book. Yes, thank you, Book of Barking. I don't know why I have
That's
that magical
amazing.
artifact. Anyways, As I mentioned last time, I've been being plagued by strange dreams, which is especially odd for someone of my particular race. But I recently received more clarity to the dreams I've been having. It is of my sister. She has been dead for several hundred years.
Terribly sorry.
She's always been pushy, and she's always been one to take her time. This is really a new one for her. You see, she claims that there is something in the south that might lead to her resurrection.
Rezer, huh?
South, you
Ah.
say?
Indeed. I've been. Well, admittedly, I've been planning to go myself. But then I remembered I did a little research into this place, best I could. And it's dangerous and harrowing. I would appreciate an escort if possible. And she suggested that there were a couple of people, and he kind of blinks, that could help me in this endeavor. And I believe she was talking about you.
Like,
Well, we'd be
like,
happy to help.
wait, when he says you, like Fael you or us you?
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Okay.
This is weird.
Well, as much as danger tends to follow us, we are willing to escort you there. We've managed to fend it off this far. I'm sure whatever dangers that are coming for you, we should be able to hold them off.
I hope so. I'm not helpless myself. I'll be doing my best to aid, I suppose. I'm versed in the arcane arts, but one such as myself should probably not venture to whatever or wherever this place is. So, do you happen to know exactly what we're headed off into? I've only got inklings and vague dream-based directions, so it's not exactly much to go on.
Well, we're currently heading south to actually find an ally who has been lost in the mountains. What did you describe it as, Choggy? A dead zone?
A zone of death?
Yes, maybe both.
I don't know why
It is
that made me laugh.
Alright then. Are you all... He kind of looks it over, you guys. You're not prepared the slightest, I'm afraid.
We're never prepared for nothing. But we still get through okay.
Unfortunately, we don't have much choice.
You may want to make some choice. And he walks on over and he picks up a ring that he's got on the counter. This here is a ring of warmth. It is not the most flashy magical item, but it protects you from the harsh cold. And that is exactly what we're going to be facing up there. Mountains are understandably frigid.
Well, thankfully, this one over here, kind of gesturing to hope, does not have much need for cold protection, but I suppose that is a good point. We do need to, I guess, prepare in that way. Above game, I wasn't sure what he meant by prepare, by ready.
Oh.
I thought he meant like in terms of gear and equipment for combat. I don't suppose a sunblade gives warmth, right? It's only
It
light.
provides daylight. Whether that provides warmth, I don't know. Let me see.
Not really.
Okay.
Daylight is nice. You'd have to have something that's actually on fire for it to provide warmth.
I have a tarp.
A tarp?
I bought a tarp. I can use that to keep myself warm.
Fart in tarp. Oh god.
Farting tarp.
Farting.
Why does
fart-
this tarp smell so bad?
Farping tarp.
It's keeping
Hey,
it
what
warm.
did you eat last night? Oh, it's horrible. I need to light a match.
Hope just heats metal and we all just hug Hope for heat.
Back in game, I don't suppose the Stony here would potentially have clothes for us. Kind of turning to Fael.
I don't know. Do they? He looks over to Cassie. I don't say that in game.
Yeah, Cass, have you got clothes for us?
No.
Chucky.
No. No.
You could have just said no once.
I'm saying it again for emphasis. No. Anyways, the Vistani here do not exactly have appropriate gear. Your best bet would be to visit one of the towns.
We aren't far from Valaki. We could head back.
Could. Shouldn't be too much trouble. There are a couple tailors in that town. I'll
Above
wait
game,
for
hey
you.
yo, Isaac, that cloak you got is pretty cool.
It's about 3 sizes too big for you, brother.
Shit.
Also, one of the sleeves is way bigger than the other. I don't think that works.
You just put Fael in that sleeve.
If nothing else, you know that they do custom jobs there.
Correct.
Hey, that's pretty good.
There's the Valaki big and tall.
I think I might be able to help. Temporarily, of course.
In what way?
I think I can... This is going to sound strange. Make clothes?
Oh yeah, fabricate. Such a
Hooray.
good spell.
We're going to fabricate some fabric.
Or
Creation is
Yeah,
an amazing
creation.
spell. Both are good.
I mean, that would work.
Fa-
I would argue, though, there are a good number of us, and that is a rather high-level spell when we could just go back to town and buy clothes.
yes, buy clothes. Pulls out empty pockets.
What are you talking about? Pulls out the gold.
5-foot cube of clothes.
cube.
How many clothes fit in a
Why is there a
5
5x5 square of pants in front of me?
Above game, I'm fine with whatever we want to do.
That's a lot of wool.
We could probably go. I mean, I've got like 399 gold. We could just go and grab, some clothing from the clothing
I
shop.
think it's probably best to save the spell, because considering we don't know what we're going to be tackling yet.
Point.
It's too bad nobody has produced flame.
That's Barovia proper.
Barovia proper,
Barovia.
yes.
Oh.
And we're what? CG, like 20 minutes from Vallaki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even on foot, probably not even.
So that's going to be my vote. If we are doing votes, that's mine.
I don't suppose Armor of Agathis will keep me.
No.
It'll make you
Cold.
colder.
Yeah.
Damn.
If I become one with cold, surely it can't harm me.
Oh, CG, random question, just because I was looking at it. This is completely unrelated to the topic at hand. The temp hit points that we get from Argynvost, do we get those back from our level up?
You do not.
Okay. I didn't think so, but I wanted to make sure.
An ever-extending wall of fire to our destination.
I was thinking about that with Bonfire, but it's actually an action to recast it.
So, gang, what do you want to do?
I vote Vallaki. Buy some clothes. Cool winter clothes.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Sure. I'll type this up in the Discord. But, yes, if you are all headed to Vallaki,
Above game.
Casimir Okay.
I was just gonna say, above game, would Godfrey and Basilica need clothes?
That's the thing. Godfrey is currently not with you guys.
Oh, that's a good point.
Wait, why isn't he with us? I don't remember.
Because he's
You guys-
undead, bro.
You guys,
Oh, right. We
yeah.
parted ways, right?
Eh.
But would he need warmth? Would it just slow him down more? Because I mean, being undead doesn't. Well, I don't know. I would imagine also just freezing isn't gonna help, right? So it's not just comfort, it's to stop yourself from literally freezing, right? Is this the logic we're going with?
I guess so.
eh. I mean, to be fair, you haven't asked him.
Yeah. We can do that before we head back to the Lucky.
Also notably, Basilica also not here for very similar reasons. They're currently keeping each other company.
Yes. They're friends.
Monster friends.
Whoa, hey, let's not go that far. They're homies.
Well, monsters aren't bad.
Monster has negative context.
I know, I hate that drink.
Stares at you in Monster Frog.
Yeah. Stares and goblin.
Tears and goat man.
So it sounds like we're heading back to pick up some winter clothes out in Valaki.
Yes.
Now, for clarification, you guys technically have winter clothes. You picked them up pretty early on in the campaign, but Casimir is saying Casimir is saying you guys need extra winter clothes.
Yes.
Like
Oh, yeah.
heavy tier stuff.
Because we went to the Abbey, right? Which is
No,
all
it
snowy.
was what we did in like episode 2
Mm-hmm.
in Kresk.
But Casimir just kind of says, "I'll need a little bit to gather my things, anyways. I'll meet you out on the Svalich Road."
All right. Now we do admittedly have a couple stops we were planning to take on our road south. Is that going to be an issue?
She has been dead for 200 years, and though her voice is ever so grating in my nightmares, I can wait a little bit longer.
All right. With that, I guess we leave, right?
Sounds like it.
Go find Godfrey, Basilica, see if they need clothes.
All right. You guys head out of the camp. Arabelle is walking with you the whole time. She's kind of like pestering you guys. So what have you guys been doing since I last saw you? And
That's
you
all
know-
you, Fael.
yeah,
a lot.
a lot
says with
of
Fael has
eating.
Fael has a new mermaid girlfriend. He's
She's
trying
not
to
my-
go for the rest of us.
We're not. It's not like that.
Oh, what's she like? Tell me.
Very wet, because water. She lives in the lake.
Oh,
I can do
she
this, and then he
She kind of. Go ahead.
and then he casts Mage Hand, which is like a tentacle hand, because flavor,
Whoa, that's creepy.
right?
How do you? Is that made entirely of water? How do you do that?
Do like the rocket power thing. Woogity woogity woogity.
He will high five his Mage Hand. So what does a tentacle Mage Hand feel like?
Gross.
It feels like
Ew.
it feels like you just slapped a water balloon.
It's wet, but there's no water.
I know what I said. You go flavor like a wet tentacle. That's what it's gonna feel like. So there's like a mermaid or something in that lake? I should go and see. Oh, wait, no.
No, please don't. Leave the fish alone.
Oh, so there is fish down there. Hey, that makes me being sacrificed even dumber. Hey!
I love this kid.
Bliss.
I should go
I think
slap... Go ahead.
she'd rather be alone. I think I would give her space.
I should go kick Bluto's headstone again.
Wait, what?
His
Oh, yeah.
what?
Oh yeah, he's dead.
How did he die?
You didn't kill him, did you?
No! I don't remember killing him.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the little girl.
Oh yeah, because I could kill him. That guy who put me in a bag. No, apparently, he got let out of the stockades. After that whole stuff in Valaki happened, he went to, the inn, and apparently he tried to drink a whole bunch of wine, and he kept on saying he could only taste water, and he died from alcohol poisoning. I said, that's what I got heard.
Can I?
That is-
Why would you want to taste
Learning.
alcohol? Anyways.
Okay, so quick question: Can I make a roll to figure out how? If he can only taste water, like 2 + 2,
Was-
you're not equaling 4 for some reason. It's equaling fish.
I would say you don't have anywhere close to the amount of information to come to a conclusion.
Fair enough.
Poor man could not taste the grapes.
I tasted something, all right.
So are the worms.
But yeah, screw that guy. He was a jerk.
Hey.
Yeah, well, he wasn't evil or anything.
He put me in a sack.
Listen, there's a difference between evil and stupid, okay?
You don't speak evil about the dead kid. Evil? We don't. Whatever.
We don't speak that there.
Oh, fine.
He was bad, but he didn't deserve that much.
Well, cough, cough.
There's an attempted child murder.
I forget, was he under an influence of anything, or was it just him?
Oh, he was under the influence. But no, he was not under anything magical.
Oh, he wasn't even, like, being used.
No, he was
Nope.
just drunk and thought that he could get more fish if he sacrificed Arabelle to the lake.
I would chalk that up to crazy and dumb.
But, alright, I guess I won't badmouth him. As you all are walking, you make it out of camp. She says, I'll stay here. Valaki's just really isn't my scene.
Her scene. I love this kid.
This child is going places.
Alright, you stay safe. And dry.
You know, if it was anyone else, that would be kind of a weird thing to say, but I'll do that.
He waves with a tentacle mage hand.
Waves back. She does it kind of like instead of left and right, it does up and down, so it's mimicking the tentacle.
Jesus.
But, you have a little shopping spree, just for the sake of brevity. You all spend a little more time in Valaki. About another hour goes by, so it's about 2:30 at this junction. And, you do get everyone tailor-made outfits. It's going to cost you about, probably 2 gold for 4 of you. But here's where I need to ask. Chagi, Dagon, Gray, and Fael, you are snugly and warm. Who else are you buying clothes for?
Irina, definitely.
Shouldn't we ask Godfrey and Basilica
I was
first?
hoping we could ask them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is the other question. What do you guys do about hope? As for, I'll just quickly, for Godfrey and Basilica. Basilica says, no, I'm not going there. Why do you
Uh,
want to take me there?
But wait, we're asking if they want clothing, not.
Yeah. But you had to explain why you wanted heavy clothing.
Great fucking response. Hey, we're going to the mountains. Fuck that.
I'm afraid of heights.
But yes, Godfrey, on the other hand, says, I can't say that I felt warm in the past several hundred years, so I don't think I'll actually be needing anything.
Well, we don't know if you'll then just freeze, you know?
Unless I am in a block of ice, I think I will be fine. Even if the ice were to get to me, and he kind of taps his the symbol, I'm used to the cold. Symbol to Argynvost.
Fair enough. As for heading up into the mountains of Basilica, you technically don't have to go. We do have those scrolls, right?
Yeah, we still do.
However, probably be safer if we all stuck together at this point.
She kind of nervously looks at the mountain, and then she kind of looks nervously back at her plants.
Aw.
Right. Oh.
Above game, I don't know what we could do about her plans.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion. Just Greg.
Oh, good.
Good luck. Hey, fighter, roll charisma checks.
On with this one, buddy. This is all you.
Flat.
Oh.
Just flat. Oh,
Oh, that's a 0.
That's a dirty 0, DM.
So that is a 2 minus 2.
That good old
Oh.
7 charisma. At it again.
I'm so sorry, Tari.
No, I'm not.
true. It's not a critical failure.
True. It's not a nat 1.
So, Basilica just kind of looks at you. I'm not gonna take my plants anywhere near that.
Above game, I'm thinking of a response, but I don't know where to go with this. This doesn't feel like my scene.
Uh, if no one has an answer, meanwhile,
Above game, we could see if Markos would take her in for a bit.
that's growing 6'10", 320-pound lady to the party. That was one of the things I did want to bring up. Was what do you guys consider for Hope? Like, Hope is very much just armor. Although, Hope, you do have a nice fur coat if you want to use that.
We gotta get Hope like a cool cloak, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, hear me out.
No.
Comes to warmth.
Do I need a cloak on my cloak?
Maybe
Good.
maybe some like a fleece? I don't know.
Does your cloak have a hood? We could get you a hood. Or a hat.
Or hooded poncho like Fael has.
True.
Except not made of. Except it doesn't look like leaves.
Let's get her the full Carmen Sandiego.
Jesus.
Pelt of an entire bear.
We give Hope an Ushanka.
Above game. I don't know if there's much we really need to do for Hope necessarily. DM. I think it's more or less if we want to dress up Hope. Above game, I don't know how Warforged are against cold. I know
What does cold
Goliaths
do? Just
I know Goliaths have like their mountain born thing, but I don't know what Warforged get.
Warforged, as is being pointed out, do not have any innate immunity to cold or temperatures or anything like that.
So
But what does extreme cold do? Just adds exhaustion?
it would, yeah.
Which
It's also one of those
can work-
things that, yeah, it's also one of those things that the DM can have discretion for.
I forget.
So-
Can Warforges get exhaustion?
Yes,
Correct.
Huh.
they are not full robots. They are still living beings.
I vote we get Hope clothes, just if for nothing more than that.
I would say yes.
The
Stop
risk
the
of
joints from
exhaustion.
freezing up.
Oh yeah, the gears.
That's how I would see it.
Bring
that's
up a
how I would
bucket
see
of
it,
hot
like-
water.
It
Just
sounds
fucking-
like
Oh no,
it sounds like
you don't do that. Don't pour hot water on a cold car.
yeah, that's a very bad idea.
Mhm.
But sounds like we're going to also get one for Hope. So that is 2 gold, 5 silver from the party for clothes.
I can cover that.
Pulls out empty pockets. Thank you, Gray.
All right.
Oh, while we're shopping, what armors do we have?
I have chainmail.
Chainmail.
I'm hoping that sometime in the next few days,
Wait,
we can make that trip
I'm-
back
I'm-
to Barovia itself, so I can potentially get that other suit of plate armor.
what I meant was I thought we had an extra set of armor, right? What is that set?
I think we had
Didn't
to
we?
burn the extra set for Hope's
All to
plate
make something
didn't we?
else. Right. I was probably making new armor.
Above game in terms of armor, that's what I'm holding out for, getting that other suit of plate armor.
God damn it.
So, as far as armor goes, you know that in Vallaki in particular, there's really not much here, mostly because you guys were here very recently and cleaned him out.
No, I thought we just had an extra set just not being used.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering if I could swap that out when necessary. But we don't feel like we need stealth anymore. Well, could take up like a better armor for one more AC.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you want. Hell yeah, bro.
Well, I mean, it's like I thought we had an extra set, so I
Oh,
forgot what.
No, I believe that was used whenever you guys have been trading out armor, you guys have usually traded that in or used it as a base to make the new armor. So
yeah. That's
I see.
what we had to do with Hope's half plate, I believe.
correct.
Then never mind. We are good.
Okay. So, you all kind of gathered back together. You head towards the south and to the south of
Osprey,
Vallaki,
that's
back
what
to
it was.
into the Svalich Road, where you see Casimir and Arabelle waiting as Godfrey and Vasilika join. Casimir is initially like on guard, seeing the two undead kind of come out of the woods, but noticing the kind of the tone of the group and how they're well accepted, he kind of eases up slightly, just enough, and you all approach. Arabelle, on the meanwhile, is like, "Whoa!" and she runs on over to Godfrey. "Whoa! I haven't seen her like that before." Hello, child.
I haven't seen armor like that before. Is that what she said?
Yeah.
I love this kid.
Hello, miss. Nice to meet you. I am Godfrey Gwillem of the Order of... I don't care about that. She's cool. Hey! Kinda looks at him. Something off about you. He kind of looks away. You're not alive, are you? No, I am several hundred years dead at this point.
Kind of leaning down to file. This kid's gonna be a regular detective. One of them
Not sagely.
inquisitive types.
So you've been alive for hundreds of years as a knight? Yes. That is so cool. And she just kind of like, she begins asking him a whole bunch of questions about like what his life has been like and everything about that. And then like Casimir kind of walks on over. It's like, Lady Arabelle, please, let's not overload the man. All right. We should probably get back to camp. Yeah, I guess. I gotta go. I should probably make sure that Uncle Aragal's okay. Dad can hit him pretty hard when he really wants to. Alright. Here, I'll just bring him back to camp real quick and meet back up with you. And she begins to, as they both kind of escort away, Arabelle turns around and just enthusiastically like, "Bye, Mr. Godfrey, or Sir Godfrey. Yeah, you guys like Sir, right? Yeah." And then she just kind of runs up. "Arabelle, wait up!" And he kind of runs after her.
Are you all right? Yeah. Sir Godfrey.
You look over to Godfrey, who has a very complex emotion on his face. He seems to be processing, and eventually he gets a rather wistful smile. It's been years since I've been treated like that. Just kind of does a deep inhale.
Gray will put a hand on his shoulder. Not say anything. Just kind of give him a smile.
He nods slowly. You know, when I was in the Order, I was the only one who could remember my past, our past. But 600 years is a long time. You still forget things. Some of the things that made you pick up the sword in the first place.
Something to
Anyways.
fight for.
Something to fight for. Anyways, he kind of composes himself. I trust we are all prepared.
Above game, I'm good.
I'm ready for whatever.
Excellent. As you see Casimir kind of walk back. Alright, I am prepped as much as I can be. Shall we head on out south?
Sort of. We need to stop by the Moldakovs first.
Oh, you mean the winery? You're not planning to get drunk, are you?
No, well. And he'll shoot an eye over to Irina and not say anything. We have something to return to them.
Irina's gonna return your look. Is like, what?
Gather your things. Okay, grabs a single bottle of wine.
You have a problem. Yes, it's called Strahd, and until then, that's the only problem I have.
Correct. I got 99 problems, but a Strahd ain't one.
But, as this motley crew heads on out, I think that's a good place to, take a bio break.
Bio break!
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna go pee and get water.
I need water pretty badly.
I need a sneak.
I'm going to go break bio.
Water has been acquired. I appear to be the first one back. Hello, chat. How's everything going?
I'm back. Bios was broken.
Welcome back. Broken in what way?
I don't know, we were taking a bio break, so I broke the bio. Also, I keep looking at that hand gif, and I don't think that's how you snap your fingers, right? Your thumb and index?
I've seen it occasionally done that way, but it's definitely harder and does not look as, like, nice.
I just don't understand how that works.
Oh dear. This is unfortunate. Hold on, I need to go take care of something.
What happened?
I'll tell you when I get back.
Okie doke.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I'm gonna shake my bottle for you, chat, and it's gonna be very loud.
Cuts out.
There was ice in it, so it was louder, but from my initial shaking, it broke up. My dog has taken to now laying at the top of the stairs, just kind of staring down at people when they come up. It's very menacing. He's a very big old boy. He stare, he watch, he wait for your approach.
Tread carefully. Those who step on these steps.
Yes.
I'm back once more.
Hello.
So, what is currently going on is that there is something stuck in my mouse that is causing the back button to be held down.
Uh-oh. Was it like that one time where your button got stuck and you rolled like 1,000,000 deck saves?
I forgot about that.
I was going through clips the other day and that was one of the ones that popped up and I had completely forgotten about it and I was like, oh my fucking god, that's funny.
No, what this is... So it's my own damn fault, admittedly. And you're all gonna totally and rightfully dunk on me for it, but I was cleaning out the gunk.
Can I take a guess and say it's wing sauce?
It's not wing sauce.
It was ants.
Oh no.
God, do not, under no
wing sauce.
circumstance.
Or after the sauce. I knew it.
So, I was cleaning out the gunk that builds up in like the crevices of your mouse, and the item of choice that was immediately nearby was a pencil.
I say,
Yes,
so it,
yes,
you could say it led to it getting stuck.
yes, it did.
Good one, Wiley.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because that is the case, my mouse is no longer working and I cannot click on things, including the tab for the game.
uh-oh.
I'm guessing it's not a gamer mouse where you can rebind or unbind buttons.
Oh boy.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Yeah, this is actually
So
pretty
that
bad.
means we won everyone.
Hooray.
There's no winning in D&D. What you smoking?
We won the game.
Okay, well, the toothpick did not work. Let's try a bundled up piece of paper. I need something that's thin yet strong to kind of wiggle it out.
Do you have like a needle?
A knife?
I might know where I can get a needle. Hold on.
Also, I found the clip.
The safety pin would also do the trick,
Then he
trick
got
if you
a
have
needle
one.
stuck in his mouse.
Yeah. That'd be his luck.
Just use prestidigitation, forehead.
I don't know why the long silence following, like being followed up with that was so funny to me.
All right, I have acquired a pincushion.
No,
But do you have the
CG,
pin?
need the pin, not the cushion.
Yes.
Shut up.
Same wavelength, Wiley. Zero brain cell, no head, only thought.
Only thought.
See,
CG right now is like-
The other way with it. I didn't.
Oh,
Shut
this
up.
one's curved. This might be exactly what I need.
I came.
I came.
Thank you.
I don't know why it's so goddamn funny to me.
Yeah. Also, first images have been leaked of the next Yakuza game.
Ooh,
Yakuza
nice.
8. And that
Oh yeah, I think I
makes,
saw that.
that makes my PP the slightly larger PP.
This is a guy that has a lot of PP.
Correct. In other news, while we're waiting for people and CG's fixing his mouse, did anyone see the new Apex Legends Gaiden trailer thing? Where apparently they're giving fucking like anime outfits for shit. So like
No.
I didn't know.
so fucking like what's his fucking name? No, Mirage fucking what's his name? Oh god. My brain.
Octane.
Not Octane.
I don't know Apex at all.
Oh Jesus, Nugget, you can't do that, buddy.
In front
I
of my
hear him
salad?
fucking coming behind me, and suddenly I felt something warm and wet on my foot.
It's he cast mage.
Can't do
Yeah.
that, buddy. No, no feet for you. Fuck off.
What?
Fucking Crypto, that was the name. He's now dressed like Goku. Fucking Watson's dressed like Naruto from Shippuden.
They have a character called Crypto. Oh,
Yeah,
Oof.
that was, believe it or
Ooh.
not, pre-crypto, crypto wave.
I mean, Crypto's been around for quite a while.
They've got Octane, this one, Hazel, like, they've got Luffy skin for Octane.
Og.
Which, speaking of, Hazel, did you see that there's now a One Piece trading card game? Well, I don't know if it's a trading card game, but it's a card game coming out.
I mean, probably if it's Bandai, they're doing a card game of everything now. Because I don't know how legit they are because their Dragon Ball Super one and their Digimon ones are legit. I can't get into any more fucking card games.
Give me a Zelda card game.
Just you know what? Until if Bandai buys the properties of Zelda, you'll be in luck, and they'll look fucking gorgeous.
Also,
Seriously,
Oh.
like I'm not just saying this because it's the ones I play, but the Dragon Ball Super Digimon cards are probably the best looking cards out there, right next to Pokemon.
that's fair. Also, is J Frost back? I know he's muted. Oh, there he is.
I'm
Never
back.
mind. Right as I fucking
Just
in time.
ask.
Sorry about that, buddy.
No, you're good. No, it was funny. I mean, we meant that. That was planned.
You good, bro. You good.
It was planned.
All part of the script. The script.
All according to Keikaku.
Keikaku means plan.
Came Kaku.
Pikaku.
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
How's your mouse, CG?
Hope you have a backup. I'm guessing not.
Wait, what happened?
There's stuff stuck in
The
CG's mouse that's keeping him from actually like clicking on shit.
Oh no.
I thought it was just the back button, right? Or was it? Or is that stopping other functions on the mouse?
I don't know.
That's not
I need
good.
a mouse doctor.
I don't know why, like, the card game bothers me how, like, okay. The, like, text is the exact same typeface and, like, scheme for fucking, Dragon Ball. So, like, at that point, why don't they make him exactly the same so they could just have a crossover? Like, they didn't use the same text style for Digimon. I don't know why they did it for...
Hazza.
Yes.
Vice Schwartz would like to have a word with you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Weiss Schwartz has got fucking everything. There's even an Adventure Time Weiss Schwartz.
True.
Jesus.
So CG there?
Yeah, I'm still working on the mouse. Because honestly, if I can't click on anything, I don't know what else
you
to
op-
do.
Have you offered it a piece of cheese?
Eh,
Or did you give it a
God.
cookie?
Use your fucking keyboard to navigate
I can-
everything.
Have you done my
Oh.
solution?
I don't know. I can't look up at your solutions anymore because I can't scroll in
Mash on
Discord.
mouse until whatever
Mash
is
on mouse
underneath breaks
until
apart.
Whatever is underneath breaks
Ah.
apart.
Percussive maintenance.
I was just gonna say, do what I do and just throw it into the street.
Yeah, that
No,
doesn't really work.
He needs that.
Yeah, there's always a replacement.
Where?
Yeah, but
got-
probably
got-
not
you,
at
you got mouse
9:30 at
replacement
night.
money?
There's a giant eagle or something.
Yeah, do you want to wait for like 40 minutes in our D&D session?
Yes.
You make a good point.
Hmm.
So chat. Let's make a bet.
Oh boy.
What is trapped in Sieg's mouse?
Ants.
Oh, we know that already. I actually told it on stream.
Is it a crumb? Is it a needle?
Is
It's another
it a
mouse.
Pillow? Is it a pet?
It's a pillow
Is-
pet.
Is it a pillow pet?
Alright, I got the case off. I'm hoping that'll help somehow.
It
believe
is
you
the last remains of Strahd's humanity.
Dissecting your mouse on stream.
Yes.
I, tell you what. So, this did not help me in any way, shape, or form, but, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to not use the program. You guys are just gonna have to tell me your roles, and I can tell you for a fact, we're not doing combat tonight.
Was there
okay.
plans for combat?
No, but you guys might have stepped in it.
I see.
Hooray!
I roll to punch the tailor.
I let the heart of the forge overtake me and I slap Grey.
Cool, Gray, you accept it and you don't fight back.
Okay.
CG.
We finally get the Choggy Dagon fight we've been wanting.
Remember, I am slapping him
How
with
about we
metal
not say we
hands.
did?
Cool, you kill him.
Wait, who killed
Oh
him?
no.
Yay.
Alright, see you later. I left the call.
Fuck.
Ripping pepperoni, Gray.
Yep.
Shake my head.
The joke was that I died, so I left the call.
I did what
Believe it.
Barbara Lysaga couldn't.
Kill any of us?
Ha.
Fuck that old bitch. I don't mind talking trash about her. Fuck her.
Alright.
Oh shit.
So I'm
Fix
gonna
it.
off and on look to see if I can solve this, but in the meantime, let's get back to the game.
Okay.
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 So. Also, we're gonna have the Vistani music for the rest of the game. Just hope that's okay.
That's fine.
Anyways.
Sure.
As you all...
Mark down the clothing. Thick. What is it? Thick clothing.
Yeah, thick clothing.
I forgot to do that.
As you all kind of bundle up, you all make towards the Wizard of Wine's winery. It takes you from where you are a couple more hours in order to make your way there. And hold on. Sorry, I thought I saw an answer, but as you all make your way there, the winery, for the first time in quite a while, has become a bit more vibrant, to say the least. It's not an especially, let's say, it's not what you would call back home, like, thriving, but you can see very clearly now the budding of grapes. Very small, but they are there.
I cast Firebolt. No.
Why would you do this? You head on up to the house, and I assume you knock on it a few times to grab the attention.
Yes.
Yes.
Which I won't do because I have a dog next to me.
Yeah, that'll perk them right up. You wait a few minutes. I'm coming. You see the eldest of the Mardikovs, whose names I can unfortunately not look up.
CG has been cursed. The oldest one, oh fuck, I don't have the oldest one. I've got Davian, Adrian, oh fuck, do I not have all of them? Ah shit, Erwin. Erwin's the old one.
No, Erwin's the one in Vallaki.
Shit!
Stephania? Dag? Wait, Dag?
Dag?
Dagrick?
Elvier? Claude, Martin, Vigo, Yolanda?
Spanky.
Spanky.
I have Dag in there.
Actually, can you guys hold on a minute? I think I may have found an answer.
Hey,
Yes.
I'm holding. I'm holding.
Fix it.
holding out for a
Fix it,
hero
fix it.
to the end of the night.
Quick, Wiley, play the I came bit. Give him power.
I came.
I still love that.
God.
Okay.
Simple man. I hear I came and I laugh.
Yeah,
Yeah. No lie.
it's so funny.
Dude, cum is funny.
Fucking somebody
Throw
clip
that in the
that.
out of context channel.
Somebody clip that so we can put that as a fucking soundbite.
That should be your new bit alert.
Dude, cum is funny.
Cum is
That was
funny.
funny.
Oh,
I fucking
Hey,
love this
Tart.
goddamn shit.
Sup?
Wanna hear a
I love you,
song?
Tart.
Oh boy.
oh.
As long as it's DMCA friendly.
A link.
Okay.
Come as you march. I kill
Wait.
Barney. Homer's dead.
prefer-
Maggie's in prison.
I prefer
Jesus.
come as you come.
Come
Ah!
as you come.
I want you
That's fun to make.
come.
As you come. The stream is not brought to you by.
Jolly Rancher, keep on sucking.
Fuck.
What?
No.
It's candy. Keep on sucking on candy.
Michael
Fuck.
Cole. You can keep sucking.
Okay,
You
I
do
have-
it so well.
Have you
Except-
retired from the war?
I have not fixed my mouse, but I have found a way to do it later. In the meantime, I have borrowed someone else's mouse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, anyways,
You know, you could say stole. We won't rat you out.
You're golden.
yeah, and I would say stole if I stole it. Jeez, you
Sorry
think
about
I don't
that.
own up to my own thievery? What kind of man do you take me for? Davian is the one you're looking for.
Ha ha.
Vian.
He looks up and down as he sees you. Now it's your lot. He kind of looks on over back to the new entourage you have brought in. They stay out, but you guys can come in.
Kind of turning to the rest. We'll be back in a minute. This won't take long.
All right. Casimir just kind of side eyes the two upstanding undead next to him. He's like, "Yes. We'll wait your return." But you all head inside. You see Davian just kind of walking on his cane. So, apparently, there's a big shining light out by that old manor, and I've heard from a few birds that town of Berez is a bit safer to travel through.
Indeed.
I hate to admit it, but you kids did good.
We've got
Kinda walks-
one more little surprise for you.
Really now. As he kind of walks you over, you see the rest of the Mardukov family just kind of... It looks like they were just preparing, making preparations for dinner. As now they've all just kind of gathered around to see who has approached. This juncture, Adrian walks up. Yes, you said you had something for us.
Joggy.
Joggy
God, I
was
can't believe he
nowhere to be
froze
seen.
already.
Joggy.
Shoggy, no!
He's dead.
Hmm.
I will flick Choggy on the nose.
Choggy pulls out the gem. Adrian kind of walks over to it and picks it up and grabs it gently.
He does now.
Oh,
That's the third one. All 3 gems. Back here at last. Oh, he's kind of stunned. And you see Stefania walks over and just kind of like pats him on the back. Okay, Adrian. You okay? Yeah, just... I don't think this day would have happened. You have our undying gratitude for this.
You're all most welcome. We could... Do you all get a dog?
Hey, get away from our grapes!
You are most
We're up-
welcome.
it-
Yes. We may need your help in the next few days, the oncoming days, if that was alright.
Of course. We were already more than willing to help before, but now... What do you need?
This isn't easy to ask, but likely in the next few days there will be a raid on the castle.
About 4 days from now.
Indeed.
The Burgermeisters have been sending accordances. We can't, as always, keep our ears to the ground. How did you know? Nothing special. Information gathering. Inferring. Well, their efforts are noble, to say the least, and we may or may not have been helping in subtle ways.
We could certainly use it for what's to come.
Right. What's to come? You know, we can't be a part of that. Not directly, of course.
Understandable.
I have my family to consider, and the rest of the wine here. But we can certainly help in different ways. I imagine that, correspondence would be a fair bit easier if, certain individuals who were exceptionally well skilled in skullduggery were to aid in this.
I guess we do have a few questions that perhaps you could answer, if that was alright.
Sure. Here, let's take this last gem to its resting place, and you can ask on the way there. He begins to walk you down to the cellar that you remember was the last time that he had taken a gem, put it in a hidden chamber where the barrels were cooling.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have some questions for us.
We're heading into the mountains soon. We've come across Gray will pull out the map and kind of gesture to the dead zone area on the map. I'm not entirely sure what it means, but perhaps you know something.
I know a few things. Most importantly, and he points to the dead zone and he kind of draws his finger from Yester Hill, kind of following a trail down towards that area, and then he stops about halfway through. Right here. This is one of the mysteries of this land that we have not been able to crack. There's a gate here, wreathed in green flame. I don't know what it means exactly, but flame is very real and very deadly.
Above
was
game, you
behind-
said halfway from Yester Hill to the dead zone.
Yes. It's very real. It's very deadly. But not aggressive, if that makes sense.
Do you think it's protecting something?
Most likely. If there is something you seek further on, it'll be past this area. I don't know more than that, other than it is an old gatehouse in the mountains.
Okay, we'll mark the spot he pointed out on the map.
I'm afraid that's all I can really contribute.
That certainly helps, thank you. As for any other questions, above game, I know we want I know we probably want to ask about the 2 remaining treasures, right? Do we also want to probably ask about what did Mordenkainen said he got a lead on his? Was it his staff he got a lead on?
I think so.
Yes.
I believe that was the case.
So we could see if maybe they know where his book is.
Is that what you're going to ask?
That'll be the next question, yes.
Alright.
I agree.
West.
Alright, back in character. So, you are referring to some sort of book, yes? What is the importance of it?
It's a powerful wizard's tome. He's an ally of ours. Seeks to hopefully dismantle the hierarchy of this land alongside us.
He stops for a moment. He turns around. There was an individual who passed by here a couple days ago. I think, tall, bald, goatee. Near about him like he's superior to everyone else.
That would be him.
That would definitely be him.
He came and asked for directions, and I pointed him down toward the area that we mentioned. I don't know what he's up to, but a couple days is a fair bit of time. You might prep for the idea that he is no longer with us.
We'll hold on to hope, but that, again, certainly helps.
He did say he was looking for an object of his, and let me make a history check for him. That is cocked. No. I wish you the best in luck in that.
Buff game, I'm checking my notes. Mordenkainen. Yeah, okay. The lead he got was about his staff. That's why I was
Yeah.
checking. Okay. Cool. As for the other questions, we're seeking a couple of, well, even describe They've been described as treasures. One of them, I believe, we mentioned to you, resting in a place of nature. We might have an idea, but we're unsure yet.
I see. And at this point, you kind of got into the basement. He kind of pushes open the hidden doorway. Stand back. You remember it's rather aggressively cold in here. So, as he kind of walks down the small room, this treasure that you're seeking. Have you had any luck with it?
Above game, we're thinking Yester Hill, right? The tree? Because that's what I've been thinking.
Yes.
Yeah. Given all the context clues, that makes sense. The Gulthias tree.
Alright. The Gulthias tree at Yester Hill. Certainly a place of nature. Are you so certain? What are you so certain about? Like, what caught your eye about that place?
Well, the wild folk above game, that was where we got one of the gems for them, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Wild folk were trying to, we believe, resurrect? Resurrect's not even the right word. They're trying to give the tree life. Using, well, your gem.
Concerning. Though I can't help but notice that you're here and it was thwarted.
We're unsure. I think we're unsure as to what exactly the Gulthias tree represents, and if it's a potential lead, we'd like to explore it.
Not a terrible idea. And he kind of, at this point, you see just kind of like a green flash. And he walks back out. Though I think I've come up with a lead of my own. After your request, I did a little digging. And he hands you a small box.
I will open the box.
One second.
It's a bunch of poison. It's a mimic.
Bam!
A
Ah!
box of rats.
Can't believe it.
Inside is another box.
Inside the box, you see what appears to be a small amulet. I think this might be able to guide you to the treasure that you're referring to.
Oh. Alright. What does the amulet look like?
There's a golden chain around it. It's very like silver, and there's a red ruby in the center.
I see. Gray will pass the amulet to Hope. I believe it was your idea. Anyway, right?
Can I make a check?
What would you like to do?
Arcana.
Sure.
Can I assist?
No.
Worth a shot. Fuck off, Wiley. I see that.
God damn it.
a 6, it looks magical in some nature. How does it work? He looks on over to you, Hope, and says, well, I'm not entirely sure. You're magically inclined. You might be able to figure it out.
Wow, helpful. Above game, above game. Oh, we thank you for this. I'll make sure to put it to good use. I don't think we have too many more questions. Detect magic. Oh, fun.
Detect magic going up. This thing is radiating a huge amount of magic.
Do we want to ritual cast identify while we're doing this conversation?
The kind is not listed.
Interesting.
Well, very interesting.
I mean, it's 10 minutes, so I don't see why not. We're not speedrunning.
Start wall clipping. Wrong warping.
Identify goes off. And ritual, of course. You'll watch and wait as Hope begins to prepare the ritual and identify it. And it's just about before it ends. While Hope is concentrating, Gray, you happen, you know what? No. Who's got the highest passive perception?
Not me.
I've got
Not
15.
me.
Unfortunately, you're busy at the moment, Hope. Of whoever is left.
Got a 11. That ain't it, Chief.
11.
15.
And I think Chuggy is still. So yeah, it would be Gray. Gray, you watch as Adrian gives a very coy and wry smile as the spell completes itself. You all hear in your heads the last remains of a dead legend, its power hidden in a place of universal good, in danger of destruction, a place of nature. Hope, this is the holy symbol of Ravenkind.
Oh, fuck.
Oh?
He just fucking found it. Alright. Above game. Pog, 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 pog.
Sounds great.
I was above game. I fucking guessed it right. Hell yeah.
I mean, it's
The
not an
holy
amulet
symbol of
strength.
Ravenkind. Sorry.
You mean it's not an amulet of strength? Damn.
This is arguably better.
All right. The holy symbol of Ravenkind has 10 charges. Regains 1d6 plus 4 charges at dawn, and has the following abilities. Turn Undead. If you have Turn Undead or the Turn the Unholy feature, you can expend 3 charges when you present the holy symbol. If you present the holy symbol, and if you do, Undead have disadvantage on saving throws against the effect. Number 2. Hold Vampires. As an action, you can spend 1 charge and present the holy symbol to make it flare with holy power. Vampires and vampires spawn within 30 feet of the holy symbol. When it flares, must make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw, or be paralyzed for 1 minute. Can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. And 3. Sunlight. As an action, you can spend 5 charges while presenting the holy symbol to make it shed bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light an additional 30 feet. The light is considered sunlight and lasts for 10 minutes or until you end it.
So with the holy symbol and the sunblade, we've got turbo daylight.
Turbo lights.
That's really fucking good, dude.
I'm putting this in D&D resources real quick.
Pretty poggers.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Above game, I think I found it on 5e tools if I can post it.
Yes, you can post it.
As to who gets it, it would have to be either you or Fael. Fael's got a glowy sword.
Yeah,
I
but it's
figured that
regular
that
light,
would be
not
like
sun.
I figured like that would be the hope item.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, because I don't think
Yes.
I can use it.
No, it has to be a cleric or paladin
Correct.
of good alignment.
Hey.
Does the talisman have any stories? You see flashes of a rather saintly woman receiving this from what looks like a giant raven. Flashes and images of the symbol being used to destroy vampires and their vampiric spawn until her life was claimed in duty and the amulet was lost. Yes, it does count as a holy symbol. I see. I didn't expect this trip would be so short.
I don't think any of us did.
You lot have done some really amazing things in this land, you know that? This amulet has been passed down in our family for generation upon generation.
Oh,
And protect it, waiting for someone who can make good use of it, especially in its current plague. But it is not a
you're
card that-
bastard.
hi, it's not a card we can play lightly, and we can't just give it to anyone with a well-meaning sword and righteous point. Whoever had to use this, we need to make sure they were capable, strong, and good-hearted enough to see it through. I apologize for the deception, though. Truth be told, that is kind of our whole deal.
Well, still thank you. This will certainly
Even
help.
so. Even so, it's not wise to light a friends. And for that I am sorry.
Nothing to apologize for. We do have one more question, or at least I do. I don't know if any of you have questions as well, kind of turning to the group.
None that I can truly see.
Also, above game CG, that's really fucking, like, clever. And that's honest. I love that, considering that we had all the context clues that we could have put that together, and we just didn't. I fucking love that. That's super smart. But,
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
yeah. But back in. We seek one more treasure. Our last on our checklist. We're searching for where the ancient myths of Barovia were born. Do you have any idea where that could possibly be?
We've been at this for quite a while, Gray. We've looked all over. We've kept in touch with the Abbey, to a lesser extent, admittedly. We've been in touch with all three of the towns, Argenvost, even Berez to a certain degree. There's only one place in this land that we have no inkling on, is whatever is behind that gate.
That sounds like that is a goal.
It does.
This gate, is it connected to the dead zone? Do you know?
Not directly, based on this map that you gave me. It's the first part of it, and then there's quite a bit afterwards.
Above game? I don't think I have anything else. I presume this is possibly someplace we want to stop by, considering it's on the way. We could... I mean, unless we still want to go to Yesterhill, but I'm pretty sure we were wanting to go to Yesterhill because that's where we thought the... what we now is the Holy Symbol. That's where we thought it was.
Points.
In-game CG. Well, I guess it's still technically above game. The spot they marked on the map with this gate, based on my knowledge of the land, do I know, like, what the general area is? Like, is it like a landmark of any sort?
It is basically about a fourth of the way up the mountain.
So it's likely we'll have to pass through it anyway to get to the dead zone.
Correct.
Okay. It sounds like that's where we're heading next.
It's almost like everything that you didn't do got consolidated into the last thing that you guys are doing.
How convenient. I love it.
What a coinky dink.
Yeah.
Ooh. I just had a thought.
It's our speedrunning strat. Efficiency.
Turning back to Mr. Martikov. You say you've been all over. I don't suppose you are familiar with the layout of Castle Ravenloft?
Please, Mr. Markov is my father. Call me Adrian. He looks back to you, bits and pieces. The occasional telling of some mad fool who managed to make it out of there. No one kept a majorly detailed map, though.
Do you know of any other entrances?
Like an undercroft?
Oh god, I forgot about the Undercroft.
Bring that one up.
Yep, the nightmare. Yep.
Well, God.
Undercroft, you say?
Yes, and apparently there's our best bet at defeating Strahd going through there. Take out the horse and, you know, deal with the help that is located down deep within.
Above game. Good fucking call, Dagan. I totally forgot about the nightmare in the Undercroft.
You're welcome, buddy.
Kind of puts his hand to his chin. I can't say I have a lot of information on that, but I can see about putting the feelers out. It's not something we were particularly searching for, and to be honest, inquiring about the layout of Castle Ravenloft, even in secret circles, is a great way to get discovered and stamped out, but at this juncture, I think that die has already been cast.
It is what it is.
I do know this. There are... Let me take account. Hold on, I need to double check. There are about 6 floors to Castle Ravenloft, as well as a set of spires leading to the towers above. This Undercroft that you're mentioning, it's got to be on the lower levels, right?
One would assume.
That's the only thing I can really bring up concretely. If you want any stronger information, it'll probably take me a day or two, but I can see what I dig up.
That helps, thank you. I admittedly, I won't call it a personal favor, but it is something that I will owe you a great debt for if you can do for us. Our friend, Esmeralda, she's been gone for some time, and while she stated that she would return, more and more, as we're closing in quicker and quicker on our raid, we'd like to try and figure out where she is, because we just still don't know if she knows what's to happen yet. If you could find her for us, we'd
Woman
greatly
in hiding.
appreciate it. Was that?
A woman in hiding. That is a lot more our speed. Consider it done.
Thank you. Above game, that's it for me.
Above game, should we start talking about mustering the troops for, you know, the big raid?
They were being coy, but they said they were going to do that.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. They specifically mentioned the Burgermeisters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's all I've got. Which I realized I had a lot, and I apologize for that. Just a lot of burning questions.
You good, bro?
Burning questions for the information brokers. Who would have thought?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there any other questions?
I'm sure if I were to look through my notes, I'd have plenty for you, but I don't at the moment.
As you all kind of take a moment to absorb everything that's been presented before you, Adrian says, "Come on, let's get you back up. We don't need to keep you down in this dank cellar anymore. Besides, the gems have work to do. God, I haven't had champagne de la stomp in years."
Above game, what time is it outside?
At this juncture, probably about 4 o'clock.
Okay. I was wondering because you had mentioned that they were prepping for dinner, so I figured I'd ask.
Yeah, it is. They are prepping for dinner, but it looks like it was a long prep. Like, they probably started an hour ago.
They got like that pot roast going. I get it.
Yeah.
Pod roast.
He brings you back up. At which point, you notice as you walk back up, the whole family is waiting for you. You also notice that the blinds are closed. The windows are boarded up. Well, not boarded up, but they're like shuttered.
I've seen Resident Evil 7. What is this?
It's a cabin
Where
fight.
this going?
Welcome to the family, son.
So,
Monka.
Davian walks up. So, you committed to this, Adrian? Yes, father. Head of the family. The decision is out of your hands. No? No. He looks over to you. They're young, but they've earned it. He walks up to you, Hope. He kind of points to the amulet. That thing's pretty nice. Hope you get to make some good use out of it. Keep it safe.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Sorry.
Fuck it.
But Adrian, at this juncture, says, "Well, look at that. You've won his approval. That makes you the first of..." He kind of looks to the rest of the family. "Well, actually, the first 5 people that have ever gotten his approval." "Oh, you hush! You're doing a fine job." "Yes, I'm doing a fine job, and you never stop pointing out how fine a job I'm doing." Yeah. That being said, he kind of gives a look to everyone individually, and they'll kind of give a little nod. "I meant what I said earlier about keeping secrets from you, even from friends, and for that I am truly sorry." And he looks back to you. "I think you've shared enough secrets with us. Let us cement this partnership with a secret of our own." And you watch as all the members of the family begin to shimmer and shift, their forms growing a little more alive, a little more gangly, as they begin to sprout feathers along their faces, beaks sprouting from the center, as you see the Mardukov family transform into were-ravens.
Hey, yo! Hey, yo!
While is
Congratulations.
doing that, the face that Chuck has for his picture. Wow.
He also does that.
They're animals.
Hey, yo!
We don't do this for almost anyone, lest our secret get out. You know how people are with pitchforks and torches, but rest
Okay, boy,
assured.
do we.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I've been in fun
absolutely
with
know
many of
that.
those.
And
Where I'm
brooms.
from.
hand brooms.
True.
Shaggy.
Nods and
Don't-
goblin.
Don't worry, though. Our form of lycanthropy is, while contagious, it's very easy to contain. Especially if you're born with it, as opposed to being passed on. I won't go into the procedures about how a were-raven makes a were-raven family. Especially not with the kids around. Well, I'm old enough! No, you're not, honey. But I will say this. Our organization was called Keepers of the Feather. You can keep the secret of these feathers a secret, after all. We trust you for this.
Gray's out the door. Guys, guess what? No, I'm just kidding.
You son of a...
Pulls out the sending stone.
You'll never believe this.
As they begin to shift back into humanoid form. Now go. I believe you have one last mystery to solve while we get things prepared on our end.
Kind of turning to the rest. South?
I see no problem with it.
Turning back to Adrian. Thank you for all you've done.
You are quite welcome, but you can save your thanks for when everything is done. There's still much to do.
Oh boy. Oh,
I'm
here we
scared.
go.
Oh, I hate that.
You're one to fucking talk.
Hey, do.
Oh, contemplates the holy Ravenkind.
Oh, that's not nearly as bad as what I thought they were gonna say. I agree. I agree. I agree,
Sure.
Hound of House Montekov. Why does that dog have a raven for a head? Oh god, they're the fucking bloodborne dogs. The dogs with the fucking raven heads.
A griffin, but instead it's a raven dog instead of lion tiger.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Or,
it's literally
well,
just a dog
lion,
body with a raven
eagle.
head. It's gross.
This...
And then there are also ravens with dog heads.
Okay, so moving on. Last call. Is there anything else you guys want to do with the Martikovs?
I got nothing.
I can
I
think
cannot
of nothing at all.
think of anything.
Maybe later. You all rejoin your allies out front. Casimir seems to be talking with Vasilica and Godfrey. So, what was that all about?
Well, we are one step closer to our goal, and we were rewarded for something we promised to do for them a while ago. As well as information and where we're going next.
Oh, so you have more info. Great. Let's hear it.
Supposedly, there's a gate to the south. Mordenkainen came through here a few days ago, and is likely headed in that direction. Chances are, this gate, and something we've been seeking for a very long time, is on the other side of it, in this dead zone.
All the more reason to go there, I suppose. Though we're going to help me out, yes?
Of course. And he'll put his hand on his shoulder. You're one of us now.
I don't know what that entails, but I feel concerned.
You should be.
I'm beginning
I
to...
hand him a sword.
It'll be alright. No problems whatsoever.
Starting to wonder if nightmares were the better option.
You must take the initiation. Lick Choggy's head. No.
Actually, Gray. Irino kind of walks up. I've been thinking a little bit. And she just kind of... Our friends in there. You don't think that they would happen to know a couple of different safe houses around here, do you?
It's not a bad idea. If you'd rather do that, then stick with us for the moment. Personally, I think most of us would feel better having you within eyesight.
I understand, Gray, and I really do. But I was talking with Basilica, and I mentioned that it might be a way to set her aside as well. Set me aside? You know that's not what I meant there. It would be a good way to make sure that she and her plans are safe and far away from whatever is up there. And personally, I am torn. I want to help as much as possible, but at the same time, I miss my brother, and I admit that staying with you all is also, in its own way, a bit of a danger. I can go with you, I'm still fine with that, but I also wouldn't mind making sure Basilica is safe, or perhaps changing locations regularly.
I believe that you should follow your heart. Last night, you said to me, in your drunken stupor, you said to me that you would rather not hide and that you would rather fight back. However, I do agree with you, and that it is probably a smart idea. That being said, you are your own woman. We can't control you. If you wish to stay, you can. If you wish to go, see your brother, stay with Basilica, you can. But this has to be your decision. I can't make that for you.
She's silent for a little bit. She looks on over to Basilica. Why is drunk me the smartest and stupidest person on the planet?
We are at a winery.
Don't think that didn't come into my temptations. Alright. You are right. I am my own woman. I have my own decisions to make and my own destiny to control.
Above game. Yes, queen! Yes, queen!
Jesus.
And as someone in control of my own destiny and my own choices, I'm going to immediately give it away and flip a coin.
Dagon's just looking on like, are you for fucking real?
I'm sorry, it's just...
To be fair, it has more thought than all the other decisions we've made.
I'm sorry, I understand the issue. It's just... I see too many points in both favors. Besides, just because I'll be staying back here, if I do go that route, doesn't mean that I won't be active. But she pulls out a coin. Heads? Then I'll venture on with you. Tails? Stay behind. Gray,
Hello.
high or low?
You know me, man. I always go high. I'm not gonna stop now.
Normal
Guess I
roll,
got
fucker.
high.
Ooh.
That is a 13.
That's high.
She sighs a little bit, having flipped the coin, puts it in her hands. Puts it back in her pocket. Let's go see what Strahd's trying to hide.
As you say, Lady Kolyana. Gray will crack his neck.
Oh, I haven't been called a lady in so long. Jeez. Way to catch me off guard, Gray.
I have a way of doing that.
All right. Irina will be going with you.
Nice.
Hog.
Training resumes.
At this juncture, however, she kind of looks on over to Vasilika. And let's see about potentially finding a place for you and your plants. No need to get them frostbite. Yes, please. And she just kind of like, I'll be out in a minute. I'm going to talk with the Martikovs. Get her situated.
Take your time.
She walks in with Vasilika, and
Holy shit!
who left all these feathers here? Someone needs to keep tabs on them. Anyways, as she's kind of walking in, wait a few minutes while they're just kind of chit-chatting. Casimir kind of nudges on over to you, Fael. What the motley crew you have here.
Yeah, well. I mean, look at me. I'm a green man.
Yeah, you're more in tune with nature than most of the rest of our race. We're more in tune with despair at this point.
Hmm. Can't be helped over here, right?
I think that we elves have had it, well, I hesitate to say worst, but we have our own long-standing tragedy that we're living through.
Well, at least you don't have to live through it alone. And he'll smile.
Well, you are surprisingly bright, especially considering what we thought of you when you came in, but keep that light. You still have a life to live it. There's only nothing. He kind of shakes his head. Never mind.
Insight
Yeah, go ahead.
with my +1. Oh, that's a 4!
Damn.
He must have just forgotten what he was about to say. Never mind.
Nods.
That I forgot to mention this earlier, but Arabelle wanted to pass on a message for you all. I told her we were headed south, and she mentioned to me that she was adventuring down this way once and saw a rather giant shadow flying overhead. She didn't get a good look at it. She hid under some trees or something, but whatever it is in this direction, there's something here. Something massive.
I don't suppose it's a giant raven smile.
Giant shed, though.
Markov walks out. Have you met our storm giant brother?
Holy shit, you're massive!
Yo!
At this juncture, Irina walks out. They were understandably put off by Vasilica's appearance, but they came around quickly enough. They didn't seem particularly perturbed as much as I thought they'd be, but at the same time, they said they knew a few places that they could shuffle her around. It seems like they've got a couple of places like that lined up anyways for what we have planned in a couple days.
Wonderful.
Alright. With that said, I do believe we are all finished up here. Do we wish to head on out?
I believe so. Right, gang. Adventure. One last ride.
Big guy, yeah?
I agree.
You all bundle up best you can. Begin to head south. Takes you another couple of hours. You have to stop and grab some food just while you are making your way through, and you do eventually pass by Yester Hill. The road splits off in two different directions. One taking you to the top of the hill, while the other further up the mountain. Does anyone want to go to Yester Hill?
Above game? No, I'm good.
Got no
I'm good
reason.
now. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yee.
You all begin to start heading south, but Hope, you begin to make your way towards the hill, and everyone just kind of sees this, joins as normal. Eventually, you take your way up the center route this time. No need to really be stealthy as you walk past the many cairns that dot the layers of the hill. The climb is steep, and unfortunately, it's not really much a gravel walk up or even dirt. It's stone outcroppings that seem to be on the way up. I'd like everyone to make a athletics or acrobatics of your choice.
Oh boy. Athletics or acrobatics?
25.
Natural.
Let's go, Fael.
Well,
I am nimble. I am small.
I'm assuming no guidance can be used.
No.
Alright. 8.
It's a little rough going for you, Dagon, but eventually you do find your footing as you make your way up the hill. Godfrey and Irina are both following, and they're just kind of like, "What? I'm not exactly sure what we're doing here."
Would I
Casimir's
have to
looking a little agitated, but
would I
goes
have to
with.
roll at all since I have a climb speed?
Yeah.
I'll
But
still-
eventually you do make your way to the top of the hill. You see the circle in which you were a part of earlier, as well as the large tree behind it. Floor is yours, guys.
Oh, God. Back is killing me.
Suck it up, Dagan. I'm sure you've had worse.
Getting
You
old,
have
bud.
no idea.
I cannot explain it, but something told me that I would return here. So kind of walks up to the tree, kind of looking around. Cannot always resist the calling of destiny. Godfrey kind of pipes up. A place like this, there are many destinies that are woven in here. I can just tell. What? Oh, how heavily is this tree woven into the lore, religion of this land? You say you've been around for centuries, but I am sure it was still ancient even then. You are correct, Hope. This hill, this tree, they were here before we arrived, before Argynvost arrived. Complete with all the stones at the front, but back in the day they were more symbolic, more solid. Now, seem more tainted. I may not be the paladin I once was, but I can still sense there's something off about this place. Whether it's something that is ongoing or something that has been done here, I cannot say.
I would like to divine sense to see if this place is. Wait, it can sense if it's desecrated. Yeah. Is it desecrated?
You check.
Good call, Fael.
Mm-hmm.
I have 5 of these. Gotta use them.
Mm, I would say this isn't fully desecrated, but it's not like a robbed grave or anything. It's
So
more like,
tainted?
well, yes, but like, let me put it this way: on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being desecrated, this is registering about a 7.
So not quite there, but getting there.
Yeah.
Well, it's not fully desecrated, but it's not pure either. Are we at the tree or just nearby?
I think we're at the tree. Yeah.
Yeah, you're at the tree.
And how is it looking? Dead?
Roll me nature.
Oh boy. Oh, well, it's an intelligence check. Of course it would be.
Of
That's
course
a
it is.
6.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let anyone take care of this.
Sure.
Okay, screw it.
Nature. Yeah, +2. Why not? Not much better.
Natural 20
We did get
from
Wow.
You said nature? Yeah?
Yeah,
Fael and I did get the haha funny number though.
true.
Nice. Nice and
9.
21.
You're all kind of just kind of feeling a bit funky as you're looking around everything. You just kind of look around the tree. You don't really pick up anything. Botany's not really your thing. Hope. The natural 20. Take a look at the bark, the wood, the branches. And you recall seeing this particular brand of wood somewhere before, long ago, at the winery, yielded by one of the wild folk.
Mm, not good. Not good at all.
Oh my.
That has implications. Um, thinking.
Do you remember the screaming stick?
The one that Choggy broke.
Yeah, I killed it.
My ears are still bleeding just thinking about it. You killed her. Or part of her. If she was still alive.
Above game. Now I'm wondering what would have happened if we had broken the stick around the tree.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit out of what we're discussing. What is this about a screaming stick?
There was when we first came to the winery. There was a. The place was under siege by wild folk. One of them had a staff that we believe at the time allowed them to control the what were they, twig blights, sprig
Yes.
blights.
Yes. All manner of blights.
When the staff was broken, they all died, or died, but with quotes. Not really sure how the logistics of that works. How mortality for stick creatures works.
And you expect this to be the source, Casimir pipes up.
Seems that maybe this is where the sapphire came from. The wild folk were trying to bring it back, we believe. Or give it life or something.
Worth noting is that the statue of Strahd that you guys destroyed is about 200 feet behind you.
Yeah. Is it still on fire?
It is somehow still on fire. No.
Holy shit, the thing's still burning?
We found an infinite fuel source.
Yo.
Infinite energy.
Nah, it's not that bad. After all, Burning Man went on for about a week.
Ha!
True. Oh god, this was like 3 days ago.
Wait, so I shouldn't water the tree? He stops his casting of create or destroy water.
I think the tree is fine now, but I think the wild folk were trying to do something dark to it. I guess now we'll never know. Kind of looking up at it.
I cannot shake that we are missing something.
Looking at the tree, can I make a perception check to see if there is, like, any, like, holes or, like, splints in the tree that could give access to the inside of it?
Go ahead
mouth.
and roll a perception.
Twenty-one.
You don't see any, like, splints or any way to get, like, inside the tree. You do see that there are a couple, like, branches that if you climb it, you could.
Does look like we could potentially climb the tree. Looks there may be a way inside from up top if we want to explore more. Stares at Chuggy. With his sick hops.
He just kind of sits there staring off into the distance.
You look at Chalky?
I'm afraid I wasn't built for climbing trees.
Well, we'll try to climb the tree.
I will pat him on the back with some guidance.
Can I
Okay.
yeet Fael up the tree to give him advantage?
Make an athletics check.
Woo!
Yeah!
As I
Okay, well,
as I send Fael into orbit.
I guess we don't really need to make that acrobatics check for Fael now.
You yeet me like fucking. Who was it? Chris yeeting Stewie like a football.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to find something.
This tree needs leaves. Yeet! Throws the leaf covered goblin up there.
Oh god, I love this.
Fael hells the moon.
Goodbye, Moon Goblin.
The moon misses her boyfriend.
Moon does
Oh.
not exist.
If you know, you know.
The moon always misses her boyfriend. Anyways. So, Gray, you immediately, like, grab Fael but under both shoulders, like, okay, I'm gonna get you up there. I'm ready. Like, for some reason, he's got little goggles on. You just chuck him up there. With Gray's precise throw, you're able to land on one of the branches, which is big enough to support your weight for sure. It's probably not big enough to support two people side by side, but it is big enough to comfortably walk across. There are a couple more branches above you, but if you'd like to take another look at the tree from this angle, you may.
I will.
You.
Perception. Oh, come on!
You gotta take the goggles off, bro. Jesus.
I'll give you advantage just because you are closer now.
Yay.
Take the goggles off, idiot. Yeah, there you go.
Duh.
It's double.
You can see at the edge of one of the branches nearby, it appears to be severed, cut off manually. It's a bit further away, so if you'd like to take a better look at it, you will have to roll a acrobatics check to make your way over there.
I'll absolutely do that.
Jeez.
Why?
Make a dex
These
saving throw.
dice! No.
That's why y'all falls
Dexterity.
I'm
back
assuming he
down
does.
the tree.
I'm assuming he don't got that guidance anymore, does he?
'Cause my aura still works, right? It's
Oh yeah.
all saving throws.
Yep.
That's an 18.
18's does it. It's exactly what you need. That does it just fine. You go and try to jump to the next branch, but you accidentally catch your toes on one of the knots in the tree, and you catch yourself before you fall down, and you stabilize. You are still on the branch. If you want to jump over, you'll have to make the acrobatics check again, but you feel like you might not as gracefully land next time.
I have rope. We keep forgetting that rope exists in this world.
Okay.
I used the rope, I guess.
We also have
I will
a
allow you to
frog
use
with
rope.
a climb speed, but we opted for this instead.
I mean, Joggy can join any time. What do I roll again?
Another acrobatics, but since you have the rope, advantage, and I'm going to reduce it significantly.
What are these rolls? What?
10 is still
Bro.
enough. You just need a double
It's not
digits.
your day.
Holy.
So you kind of like Tarzan / George of the Jungle your way over to the branch with the rope. And you swing onto the severed branch, and you can see you were not here for this when you dealt it for the first time. But Fael, you can see that the severed tree appears to be bleeding.
Oh. I shout out, "The tree is bleeding!"
Gross.
Disgusting.
Is there anything inside the tree? Can you see anything?
You see a red-covered stump.
Just a red stump. Thought about doing this earlier, but I'm gonna try using lay on hands on it. I'll give it 5.
Okay. You put 5 lay on hands into the tree. Nothing happens.
Well, healing it didn't work.
Did you mention the stump to us?
Yeah, you shouted it down.
Red stump. Can I make like a check or anything, like a nature check or an arcana check? Arcana check would actually probably be preferred.
Nature.
Nature.
Oh,
Fuck.
I wanted that 20.
Fuck.
Oh.
You have no clue. Sure, I'll let other people check. $16. Anyone else?
Yeah, screw it. What is it? Just a nature?
Yeah.
while others are rolling, can I use an empty vial from one of the potions I've used to gather the blood?
Sure.
2.
Boy, that 22 combo is really biting you guys tonight. How many 2s have we rolled?
The answer is
I
yes.
don't know,
A
man.
few. A few.
With that 16 in nature hope. Based on everything that's been said and everything that's been done, clearly this is not natural. You feel like if anything is desecrated here, it is probably this tree.
Above game out, I'm supposed we have like remove curse or something. Do it.
Or was it greater restoration? I
Mhm.
forget what the.
That's 5th level, I believe.
So I'm just gonna add a vial of tree blood to my inventory.
Yeah, go ahead and add a vial of tree blood to your inventory.
Gross.
Yeesh.
What? It's just maple syrup.
Disgusting.
Yahoo answers, my tree is bleeding. What do I do?
Fuck me, Christ.
You put it on waffles and pancakes.
Mmm. Syrup.
It's okay, tree. I'll get you. I'll bring this to a doctor and get you better.
So, stronger?
Sorry about that. What'd you say?
Nothing. We're just waiting a moment. So, above game, if we had brought the stick to the tree and broke it, what would have happened? Would the tree have straight died?
No.
Oh.
Tree just straight up said, fuck you.
Yeah.
Ow, my finger.
Dude, that's my fucking kidney.
Ow, bro, the fuck?
I took my freaking kidney.
Broke my dick!
Someone is stabbing you with my own fingernail.
Yeah.
Dude, why'd you take my arm?
She
My
broke my
leg.
dick.
I will start light and work my way up. Alright, remove curse goes off. Don't notice any particular difference.
I take it is still bleeding.
He's still bleeding.
How long is it?
How long is what?
Ooh,
Oh,
Sorry,
That-
I accidentally hit the back button.
You good, bud?
that is a long cast time. We don't have all day.
Hmm.
Hallow is...
I
Yeah,
This
Hallow
one-
is a pretty long dedicated point, but based on what the spell does, I mean, it's a pretty
bless you.
strong one. All right, so if you want to cast Hallow on this, I will allow it, but it will eat up an entire day.
mm, we have very limited time. Do you have greater restoration? Well, if counterpoint, if you do that for Hallow and it doesn't work, we spent your highest spell slot and 24 hours.
To be
True.
fair, Greater Restoration also requires a material component.
Oh shit! I believe Hallow does as well,
Ooh.
doesn't it?
Not one that is consumed, I believe.
Hallow.
Oh, it does. It does require 1,000 gold pieces.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that answers that.
Okay.
If only I could speak to plants.
What's the what's the material component for greater restoration? It's diamond dust of 100 GP.
Correct.
I have a collection of gemstones that I believe we got from Castle Ravenloft. I don't think I ever actually asked what they were. I just have 5 gemstones. Are any of those diamonds?
No, they are considered just monetary items.
Okay.
Hmm.
Cuz I'm all down to pursue this train of thought. This tree of thought.
Fuck off.
To be fair, I'll point this out that the tree is not going anywhere.
That's true. We can't always come back.
But I want to fix the Deku tree.
Fuck.
we'll we'll get a diamond or fucking I don't know what the material component for Hollow is. We'll get a diamond or 1,000 gold and we'll come back.
To be fair, Hallow's requirements, like for its cost, are not like really rare. It's just like herbs, oils, incense, like the same stuff you would use for like Find Familiar or something. So
Okay.
you could actually buy it.
It's just 1,000 gold of it.
Yep.
God, how long would that take to forage?
Infinity.
CG said, I'm not doing that shit. Fuck that.
No.
Understandable. Have a day.
Hey, where's the local incense plant that I could harvest from?
Wait a minute, I've got incense.
Do you have 1,000 gold of it?
Depends, how much does a preacher's pack give me?
Not 1,000 gold's worth of it.
He pulls out like a fucking gallon jug of incense.
Got to be Molag Ballin, son.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for coming back when we have more components. Provided we can get them.
You guys still have a couple days before the wedding. So,
We have 4 days,
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys could. I'm telling you above game. You guys could theoretically take care of everything and still have time for this.
Okay. So yeah, we could just come back. That works for me.
I'm gonna cure wounds the stump.
Alright. The stump stops bleeding. And then starts again.
Sorry, I don't know if that picked up. That was my shoe.
That was.
I love you, dude.
Ace bandage on the tree.
Yeah.
It's one of the, just slaps one of those cross bandages on front of it.
I start dabbing the blood with cotton balls.
I thought you just said I start dapping.
But alright, if that is it,
Coming back
Well,
I
later.
will
yeah.
climb down and make it rain for it.
Okay.
Oops.
Destroy water. Destroy blood.
I mean, what is blood but just, saltier water?
You give it
It's
a nice
iron.
shower as you leave the hill.
We'll be back. He passed the tree.
Alright. Well, that was a bit of a waste of time, wasn't it? Casimir's just a little curt.
Well, we know it's a bleeding tree, so you know.
Something that can be fixed. Just not yet.
Apologies.
It did.
Just...
It did stop healing for a bit. Or wait, let me reword that. It stopped bleeding for a bit when I tried to heal it.
No, I'm sorry. That was unbecoming of me. Just a little... I guess I'm a little put off by the detours.
It is creepy
Understandable.
over here.
I think so.
But good news. No more detours, right?
Certainly
Yes,
seems to be the case.
It's further on to the last bit. You say this while you are trying to bring someone back to life after centuries of death. You, above all others, should know patience. My dear, patience and me are enemies. And I'm not saying that because I'm rude. I'm saying because I am waiting for extinction right now.
That is something I actually did wish to ask you about. Once you bring your sister back from the dead, provided things don't go horribly wrong, what then? What's your plan after that point? And this is not me criticizing you, I'm genuinely curious.
Then I will have my sister back. He sighs a little bit. Not that one would help, but at least she would be resurrected. back with us?
If I may ask, how did she pass? Because above game, I don't think he's told us yet.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh,
I'll
Aw,
let
shit.
someone assist.
I'll help.
thanks, Dagan.
Oh!
I love that -1 on the other side.
Yep. Good old
Uh.
7 strikes again.
What was the question
That's-
you asked again exactly?
If I may ask, how did she pass?
Painfully.
I will nod and won't press any further.
Perhaps after this is all over, I will tell more. Or who knows? Maybe I'll be more in mood to share later down the line. Let's go. As he walks off. Lael,
Oh,
I'd like you to make me a history check. This one is also with advantage.
good. Oh! That's
Oh!
and a 2 on the die.
You know what?
Boy!
You know what? Roll 20. Roll 20. I see what you're
fuck?
doing. I see what you're doing, roll 20, and I say no. I say
Huh.
what passes and what fails. And what I say is that anything but a natural 1 would pass. So fuck you, roll 20.
Fucking.
That's my DM. That's my DM.
Boy! Oh, biatch.
Sending you a message.
God.
God damn.
The hell, roll 20. I'm not Connor. I don't talk shit about you. I don't. Nice.
Ooh.
That. Okay. Sure.
Make of that what you will. But there's nothing else to say. Shall we move on from Yester Hill?
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Just wanted to see if you had anything else to add. You all leave Yester Hill the way you came. You all do that, like, skid down the hill where you're trying to catch yourself as you're rapidly descending. That, that, like, stutter start. But eventually you make your way all the way to the bottom. And you continue on the road. Night begins to fall. The air begins to get colder. Eventually you have to take out your warm clothing, drape it around yourselves. The temperature gets colder and colder as you begin to climb up the mountain, following the map that you set. Eventually the path takes you around one of the mountains. As you round the side of it, you're greeted with a haunting guardhouse.
Oh.
Lonely, cold, and alone. Just like all of you. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh,
Oh boy.
God.
Oh boy.
I know why I was unlucky. It was because of my picture. It foretold what would happen.
Fuck.
Oh.
We're doing things, guys. We're getting to the end game. Well, we're in the end game. but-
Guardhouse, boy.
only
What time to
one way.
blow it the fuck up?
Oh, so this is, what, 42?
42.
42. Jeez.
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Blue 42. Blue 42.
I am looking forward to the upcoming. Well, I'm trying to I'm hesitating to find a word, struggling to find it. I'm looking forward to the next leg of this particular journey. So much so that I think we should do it next week instead. What do you say, gang? You want to meet next week?
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
Fuck yeah.
We should double check with Haz. Because he did
Yes.
disconnect.
As unfortunately, Haza had to leave due to need of sleep, understandably. But let's go ahead and do outros. And I'm actually going to start because screw you all, that's why.
Damn.
Hello, I'm
He's a
TG. You
madman.
can find me. I said fuck you to Roll20, and I'm saying fuck you to outros. Sorry. Hello. You can find me nowhere because I don't much care for social media, but you can find me over on twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn every other Saturday for Saved by the Spell, a Strixhaven campaign. I believe we are off this week, yes?
No, we're actually on this week for once.
Oh, we are on this week. Excellent. So we will be meeting up at the end of this week for our session after a bit of a hiatus. Mouse almost fell off, but I caught it. And of course, you can also find me every Sunday on this channel for War of the Shattered Sun, DM'd by our wonderful farting tart, who is that person over there that I'm going to toss the talk about ball over to.
I'm gonna roll to catch it. What is it to catch?
Acrobatics, athletics, and stealth all at the same time. If you roll below a 25, you fail.
Ah, shit. Natural 20!
I catch that fucking ball in my teeth.
Alright, that's
Give
below
you
25,
luck.
you fail.
Fuck off.
Go for it.
Last roll of the night, baby. Hello. My name is Farting Tart. I fucking moved recently, and I'm currently combating my internet. Yeah, things have been a bit crazy. I moved. I'm currently on the job hunt, and things are wild. Streams are kind of up in the air at the moment as I'm trying to get my sea legs. But I'm currently while I play the thing.
I came.
Thank you.
I love that.
But that being said, we do got D&D streams coming in the next few days. On Saturday we've got Between the Shadows, our Mass Effect 5e campaign that we run, and on Sunday we've got another episode of War of the Shattered Sun, which I also run. Here at twitch.tv/fartingtart. Our party just fought a lich. Didn't you, J Frost? Hey, you guys won. It only cost you one party member. Who you guys got back?
That's rough, buddy.
Please. No more. No more crazy bullshit.
But yeah, besides that, things are a little crazy at the moment, a little up in the air. But I am doing my best, and I will have updates to come in the near future. I'm gonna pass it to you, J Frost.
Hello. You can find me here at twitch.tv/JFrost747. I haven't done a whole lot of streaming recently because, you know, life has been kind of crazy and wonky, but should be doing some more things recently. We will finally finish Metal Gear because I've been putting that off for way too long. You'll also find me, as mentioned before, with CG and a few other people over at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn for our Saved by the Spell campaign, which things have happened. There might be the introduction to a horror movie going on recently.
Pog.
And, the festival's getting closer and closer. In fact, I think we should be 3 to 4 sessions before we actually get into it. Other than that, as mentioned before, you'll find me over at Farting Tart... I can fucking speak. At Farting Tart's channel here for more of the shows every Sunday. And other than that, you can find me probably just doing some crazy streams. But don't support me. I'd rather you support someone who's cooler than me. Like my SO, Boiled Chestnut. So other than that, we good. Wiley, catch.
Hello. You can find me at XWileyWilly on Twitter and Twitch. I actually streamed something different for once. Instead of Ocarina of Time, I tried randomized Symphony of the Night. Which, holy crap, that is really weird to be a randomizer. Like, man, I was not expecting to have to punch things for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But, yes. Sadly, I can't continue the run because I didn't save state. I thought the memory card thing would work, but it didn't. So next week I'll start over with a new seed and hopefully not have to punch for an hour. Fuck.
Sedge.
But yes, other than that, I got music on the way on my YouTube channel. At some point, hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have more music.
Music make you lose control.
But enough talk. Have at you, Sen.
I am Sensuno84. You can find me nowhere. Don't look for me. Leave me alone.
Fair enough.
Oh my.
But enough talk. CG.
Go again.
I think he has to step away. I think he's so back. Haza, go. Hold on.
Fine.
Hi, I'm Haza.
Tart.
Hey, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on. Hi, I'm Haza.
You know what to do, right?
You can find me at Haza is my name, where I do stuff like Binding of Isaac, where I torture myself trying to get all the achievements in the game. Thank you, Haza.
I love that.
Tell us about CG in the voice of Haza.
No.
I lost cutout or cardboard Haza.
I love Cardboard Haza.
Where is it?
What do you
Oh, there
mean
it is.
Cardboard Haza? He's right there. Hi, I'm
You're
right here.
right.
I'm Haza. But with that, I guess we should raid someone. Jolt?
Yeah, let's do Jolt.
Jolt.
Dude, Joel.
Burn out Vahan.
Waffen.
Go show them a little bit of love. Let them know who sent
Wait.
you. Okay, I'm waiting.
Ooh.
Can I make a counter?
You can't. However, I have already started the raid.
Brawl has only 5 viewers.
That is a solid counter. What's Brawl doing?
Cross counter.
The good boy.
That is a good boy.
Hey, that's a pretty good boy.
Here. I'll cancel it for now. And I will roll d20. Brawl it is.
Yay.
Slash. I almost did slash Brawl Kaiser. /raid Brawl Kaiser. Go tell Brawl that he is a good boy. Go and send love to the Scourge of the Nut Button.
Nut.
Let him know who sent you, and we will see you back next week, turns out, for another episode of The Curse of Strahd. Okay, we love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
These nuts!
See ya.